moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
Usher is arguably one of the best R&B singers of all time. From refreshing vocals to smooth dance moves, this man has it all. However, a series of controversies is unfolding as his secretive nature comes to light. His low-key affairs, including relationships, have recently surprised fans, while his list of girlfriends is bigger than you can imagine. This brings us to the topic of today, as we seek to cover his history of hidden relationships. So, let's begin. This has to be the most shocking undercover relationship of all time after the dark side of the billionaire Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, came to light. Diddy was accused of having a relationship with Usher, but interestingly, Usher hasn't come clean on to this date. Since the internet never forgets, Usher admitted in a Rolling Stone interview in 2004 that he was with Diddy during numerous parties that took place at Diddy's luxurious mansion. Following accusations that Diddy was a PDF file, Usher wasn't left out of the debate as it emerged that Diddy was hanging around with him when he was 13. So this means these two have been at it for decades. In another allegation, there are claims that Diddy gave Usher when he was 15 years old. And this created a mixed reaction as many people wanted Usher to be honest on this. In another interesting angle, these two did a song together in 2001, and the song was called I Need a Girl. Ironically, Diddy's lyrics painted the picture that they had a thing with Usher. In the song, Diddy's part says that at first he was a peep, after which he says they became lovers. He then goes on and says that the brotherhood was more than her girl. And then this is the spicy part. He went on and said they would smash undercovers during nights at the bed. From that song, we can clearly solve the puzzle about who Diddy is referring to. Is Usher? Well, it's something he didn't admit clearly until today, as he rubbishes claims that he dated Diddy. On the other side, Usher fears Diddy's power and influence, considering he mentored him to be the music star he is today. Speaking of Diddy's power, no arrest has been made against him as of now, which raises the question of whether Diddy bought justice, considering he paid a huge lump sum in Cassie's case. With that significant authority, you know why Usher gets uncomfortable when asked about Diddy. Now on to the next. In 2001, Usher met an ex-video vixen and author, Kareen Steffens, and their affair lasted a few months, after which Kareen came up with a book, Confessions of a Video Vixen, to reminisce about her previous encounter with him. The relationship went to the mud as Usher had an interest in Chili Thomas, whom I will cover shortly. These two started dating in 2002, and at this time, Usher was 23 years old and Melinda was 24 years old. Melinda, who was from Puerto Rico, had a short-lived relationship with Usher as they separated the same year. Despite Melinda's brief encounter with Usher, she tattooed Usher's name on her hip. Funny enough, Melinda failed to acknowledge that this would bring her problems in her future relationship. So the breakup happened, but Usher's name remained tattooed on her body. That tattoo alone ruined her next relationship with the Fast and Furious actor Tyrese Gibson, who got disgusted upon seeing that tattoo. Genuinely, we can understand Tyrese's move from a man's point of view, because who would want to date a woman who has the name of their ex tattooed on their body? Despite the breakup, Usher released the Confessions album in 2004, and the songs were aimed at reflecting his previous relationship with Melinda. Shockingly, the album helped Usher win 3 Grammy Awards, so technically that was a blessing in disguise. Now let's proceed with the list. Many Gen Zs aren't aware that Usher once had an affair with Chili Thomas. The two dated from 2001 to 2004, but the relationship turned complicated as Usher started eyeing other women. Let's not forget that Usher started seeing Melinda in 2002, just a year when they were already dating. So this started making the relationship rocky because Chili had begun to have doubts as to whether the relationship would last. Chili stuck with Usher until 2004, when they broke up because of Melinda. Despite Usher parting ways with Melinda, Chili felt gutted when the Confession album was released. The album revealed what Usher had been doing behind the scenes, including participating in infidelity. At that point, Chili was fed up and quickly exited Usher's life. Just after the split with Chili, Usher didn't go on a break as he eyed Naomi, whom they both caught the attention of the audience when they were seen together at Hollywood events and red carpet moments. However, the relationship took a tumble and became sour. This is because Campbell got fed up with being bossed about by his extensive management team. Usher was also mad when Campbell stayed in New York instead of accompanying him to the prestigious Los Angeles Billboard ceremony, where he scooped a staggering 11 awards. This was the reason he left the British stunner, according to a British newspaper. But to Usher, apparently, it's all a mystery. "We were never a couple," he told ContactMusic.com. "We never dated. She just accompanied me to an event and is a great friend of mine who I think is a great person." Furthermore, Jonathan Moorish, who was Naomi's spokesperson, says Naomi and Usher are good friends and will continue to be so. This relationship lasted for months in 2006. Despite the brief affair, the two were seen during that time spending nights together in a club, having a good time. But ironically, this happened when Usher was already dating Tamika Foster. Pamela was linked to Usher after the two were spotted looking cozy together at several major Hollywood events. Even though they met in 2006, they first exchanged love words on stage at the 2004 World Music Awards. Pamela kissed Usher on the cheek while presenting him with his first award of the night during the presentation in Las Vegas. At least we can gamble that Pamela was certainly a sneaky link that he didn't want the whole world to know. The two came into the spotlight in 2005 when they were seen on numerous occasions attending parties, red carpet events, and fashion shows. This relationship lost its balance a few months later. Their connection, though strong, didn't last long, with their relationship ending within the year. So this has to be one of the low-key marriages that Usher had that many of his fans are not aware of. So the two ignited a romantic relationship in 2005, after which they decided to take the relationship to the next level in 2007. In 2007, the two tied the knot in a private wedding ceremony, after which they welcomed their first child, nicknamed Cinco. And the year after, they welcomed Eli Naveed, who is the second son. Well, looking at Usher's history of failed relationships, we bet this marriage would go down, and guess what? It did. After just 2 years of marriage, the two parted ways, as the marriage turmoil was overwhelming for both of them to handle. Just after a failed marriage, Usher went for the next partner in line, Grace Miguel. It was interesting that the two had cordial interactions to the extent that Grace would become Usher's manager. The relationship took another step as both got married in a secret wedding in 2015. However, things fell apart in 2018 when the two decided to divorce each other. And the shocking thing about this relationship is that they didn't have a child when they were 9 years together. Well, that's how secretive Usher is. Just a year after divorce, Usher went fishing once again, and the catch was successful as he met Jen. In 2020, the relationship took a significant turn as the two welcomed Sovereign Raymond, who appears to be their first daughter together. That's not it. Yet again in 2021, Usher expected baby number 2, Sire Raymond. So, what if I told you that Usher secretly married Jen immediately after the 2024 Super Bowl halftime show in February? Well, you heard me. We all remember how Usher hit the headlines following his performance with Alicia Keys. Speaking of the performance, we remember some fans raging about the way the two got unprofessional as they got touchy on the stage. Many people rant at Usher for not respecting Alicia Keys because she is married to Swizz Beatz. Now here comes the interesting twist. So Usher obtained a marriage license a day before the Super Bowl halftime show, and that happened in Nevada. The point is that Usher was so secretive that no one had an idea that he was married, as most people were aware of Alicia Keys' relationship with Swizz Beatz. So immediately after the controversial Super Bowl halftime performance, Usher went in through a secret wedding ceremony to officiate the nuptials. Once again, few people knew Usher had a wedding after the show because only a few friends of his attended, since it was made to be a private ceremony. So Jen remains Usher's partner to date. That's it for today's video. Thank you for sticking around. What was more surprising from the above reveal? Remember to hit the like button and don't forget the subscribe button on your way out.